Hey guys, Robert 3D Printscape. So some of you guys in the community have been asking about the CR Touch, how it differs from the BL Touch, how to actually install it, and I figured I'd go ahead and pick one up and run through the process for you guys. So I took the BL Touch off of this printer and went ahead and installed this CR Touch. The process is pretty similar. There are some differences, especially if you're using the stock firmware. So what I ended up doing is I am doing this video based on you using the stock Creality firmware. If you're looking to use Marlin, I'm going to be doing another video covering that coming up here shortly. So if you're looking for that, you'll probably just want to wait for that video. But it does work fine with the stock Creality firmware. Just throwing that out there. If you have any questions about the process at any time, go and leave a comment below or join us on Discord and I'll try to help out as much as I can. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks. Alright guys, so here's the CR Touch. Let's go ahead and open up the box and take a look to see what's all included with it. It's got this protectant seal here, so I've got to get something sharp to cut it. Alright, then we open it up. We've got instruction manual. Looks like mounting bracket here. The actual CR Touch, which looks a lot different than your BL Touch, which I'll talk about that in a different video. I'll probably end up doing a video coming up pretty soon on the differences between the two and which one makes the most sense to buy. Other mounting bracket options. And then our cabling, some zip ties, and the screws that we're going to need here. So not that much in the box, but I guess overall there's not that much to this. So let's go ahead and put this back together and we'll get started with the install process. Alright guys, so the first thing we need to do is download the firmware for our CR Touch. So what we'll do is we'll go to Creality's download site, which I'll link to below as well, but it's just creality.com/download. We want to go to accessory firmware and then go to CR Touch for 32-bit boards. And then we want to find the zip file for our printer. So I've got the Ender 3 Pro that I'm using as my example here. So I'll go right here and download this, and then we'll go ahead and extract it. All right, so I went ahead and extracted that zip file, and it gives us this file here. It's just our .bin file. We'll drag this over to the SD card. You want to make sure that you don't have anything else on the SD card, unless you could potentially run into issues. It's also worth mentioning that I've had to try different SD cards in the past. Sometimes I've had issues with it not reading them properly for firmware, even though it works with G-code files for printing. So if you do have issues, it might be worth trying to swap out the SD card. All right, so we'll just go ahead and drag this over and go enter it in the printer. All right, now that we have the firmware on the card, we'll go ahead and put the SD card into the slot on the board. That's just pretty straightforward. I have the camera on the screen so you can see the screen when it powers on. It's going to import the information from the card, kind of reset itself, and then if we go into the About Printer screen, we'll be able to see it. Right, and then we can verify that it uploaded correctly by just going into our menu, go down to About Printer, and then we'll see the Creality, and then one extruder, with the bilinear leveling, but basically this is the firmware version from them. Alright, now we can go ahead and start cabling up the CR Touch. Alright, I did want to make a note that most likely you're going to end up using this mounting bracket right here, the larger of the three. The other two are meant for the Ender 3 V2 or the Ender 3 Max. This is going to fit your Ender 3, Ender 3 Pro, CR10, etc. Alright, now that we have our firmware installed, like I mentioned, we're going to be using the Creality firmware for this install. I will do another video covering how to use Marlin. There will be some differences, and I believe by default the Creality firmware assumes you do not have the Z-stop plugged in. I know a lot of people like to use the Z-stop in conjunction with the BL Touch or CR Touch now, so I'll go over that a bit more in the Marlin video. But this is just going to be installing the CR Touch with basically default settings using the Creality firmware. So it's going to be a good starting point if you're just getting into 3D printing or mods. Alright, so now we want to go ahead and mount the CR Touch. So here's the mounting bracket we're going to use. The CR Touch is going to come off of it like such, and then this is going to go on the printer right where the fan duct cover is. So I'm going to zoom in on the printer a little bit more, but first thing we want to do is go ahead and put the screws on this so we can get everything tightened up before trying to do it on the printer. All right, so I went ahead and grabbed the screws we're going to use. I wanted to make a note that we have two different sizes. This is going to be the 8mm. These are the 6. The 6 is going to be used to connect the CR Touch to the mounting bracket. The 8 is going to be used to connect that to the printer. All right, so there's only one way this can actually go on the CR Touch. If you try to turn it around or install it incorrectly, it's going to be blocking the port itself. So it's got to go this way so that that port is still exposed. All right, so now we're going to put the screws in. The screws go in from the bottom. If you try to put them in through the top, you're going to have issues because there's nothing to actually have them attached to. All right, now that those screws are in, we're going to go ahead and take off the 2 screws on the fan duct cover, and basically this is going to mount right here. It's important that, well, I guess you could make it work the other way, but it's much easier if you mount the CR Touch on the bracket before trying to mount the bracket onto the printer itself, mainly because these are mounting through the bottom, so it's going to be hard to work with if you try to do it the other way. All right, so let's go ahead and take these screws off, and then we'll grab the 8mm screws that we'll use. All right, now that we have those off and we have the screws, we're going to go ahead and put this in place. I like to put the actual bracket on the back and then the fan duct cover connected to that. I feel it's more stable. I've seen people challenge that and do it the other way. I actually had somebody call me out on that on the BL Touch before, basically saying it's going to affect the airflow, which it doesn't, because you've got the blower pushing the air directly at the nozzle, and it's not like it's an airtight enclosure or anything like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and put these in. All right, now we want to go ahead and connect the wire to the CR Touch. You can only plug this in one way, so it does make it pretty easy. The side with the grooves here goes on this side. So it's basically going to be white, black, yellow, red, blue. All right, with that connected, we'll use the zip ties it came with and kind of run the wire up and around following the rest of the cabling. Now you just want to get these zip ties snug enough so that it's holding it in place, but you don't want to try to get it to the point where it's too tight that it's kind of smashing the tubing a little bit. But I will zoom out a little bit so you can see more what I'm doing here. All right, so I've got the one zip tie in place here. I'm probably going to do another one here and then another one following down, and then that'll be it for now. All right, then once those are in place, you can go ahead and clip the extra plastic off of the zip tie. And then at this point, I would follow whatever cable management practices you're using. If you have any tubes or anything like that that you're running the cables through, or however you're running the rest of the cables, that's basically what I would do. All right, now what we need to do is go ahead and open up this case down here so that we can get to the main board to connect that adapter and unplug the Z-stop. So there are 4 screws. There's one up top right here, and then there's 3 on the bottom. So we'll go ahead and take this one off and then flip it over. Now that this is flipped over, we can see the 3 screws. We've got 1, 2, 3. We'll take those out really quick. Now that that's off, first thing I want to do is go ahead and disconnect my Z-stop. So it's going to be the 3rd one over. So this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and pull that one out. It's worth noting that it could have hot glue around it, which does make it more difficult to get it to come out. All right, so we have this out. I'm just going to leave it off to the side. If you want to, you could remove it entirely and remove the Z-stop switch. I'm not going to do that though. All right, next we're going to have to connect our 5-pin adapter to the BL Touch port. So it's basically going to go right here. All right, and that can only plug in one way as well. It is important to pay attention to the pinout. Right now, the way it's wired, it's kind of reversed. So some of the other kits where blue is going to be your ground, in this case, white is the ground, and then it's going across this way instead of the other way around. But it's connected reversed on the actual CR Touch as well, so it somewhat makes sense. Then at this point, I like to test things out just a little bit before putting everything fully back together. So I'm just going to kind of attach this here, let everything sit, and then power on the printer and make sure that it works as expected. All right, so now that everything is back together, let's go ahead and kick off our auto home, make sure it works correctly. So I'm just going to go to Control and, prepare auto home, and I'll make sure it goes through the process. And then from there, we're going to heat everything up so we can get the Z offset, and then we'll go ahead and set that. I'm only going to cover the Z offset briefly in this video because I have a video that's dedicated to that, which I'll link to below. And then once the Z offset is set, we'll save our settings, and we got to go back to our computer and in Cura add the G29 command to the machine settings just to make sure that it runs every time. Alright, so that looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and heat everything up real quick. So just go into the menu, go to Prepare, and Preheat PLA. Alright, now that that's up to temperature, we just go and get a sheet of paper, and we'll go ahead and set our Z offset. Again, you want to make sure that you heat everything up to make sure that any filament that might be at the bottom of the nozzle melts off. And because, well, metal is metal, you know how that behaves. And so now we want to go ahead and get our Z offset value. Again, make sure you run the auto home before doing this because that's going to put it where it needs to be, which I believe is going to be +10. So now we'll go into the menu, go to Prepare, go down to Move Axis. We want to move the Z axis, and then we'll do it by 0.1 millimeters. Yeah, so right now it's at 10, and we want to lower that until the paper just is able to get some resistance up between the bed and the nozzle. Okay, that looks pretty good here. I can make adjustments on the fly later with baby stepping. So we'll do Z offset of 1. Alright, so let's go back up and go into Control, then go to Bed Leveling, and then Probe Z Offset. We will do that at 1. Alright, and then we want to store settings, and then we can go ahead and do level bed. Alright, now that that is done, we'll go ahead and store our settings again. So if you go into the menu, go in Control, you can go down to Store Settings. It's basically the same thing that's on the bed leveling as well, but that's creating the initial mesh for you. Alright, if you have any questions about what we covered or would like to see any other videos, go and leave a comment below or join us on Discord. Thanks. Alright, now the last thing we need to do is go ahead and add the G29 code to our machine settings in Cura. This will kick off the actual bed mesh every print. So if you go up to Preferences, Configure Cura, go down to Printers, and then Machine Settings. From here, right after G28, we'll just put in G29. Then I just like to make a note of what it's for, so I'm just going to put ABL. And that's really all there is to it. Now, it automatically saves that, so if you go back in, it's there. Right, so at this point, only thing left to do would be to kick off a test print. And if the Z offset isn't right, you might need to make some adjustments to that just to dial it in. But from there, you should be good to go. Alright guys, so that covered the process of installing the CR Touch on an Ender 3 Pro. It's pretty much the same thing for all of the models that supports it, slight different variations for the board. If you have the 427 board, you would download the firmware for that versus the one for the 422 board. If you have like the Ender 3 Max or V2, you use the different mounting brackets that are meant for that. But again, all of it's pretty much the same minus those variations. So if the printer itself supports the CR Touch, that's the process you'll follow. Basically, the process is as following. You update the firmware, mount the CR Touch, run the cabling for it, connect the cable on both sides, go ahead and power on, make sure everything is working, set your Z offset, update the G29 command in Cura, and go ahead and kick off a test print. If you guys run into any issues with the install process or would like to see any other videos, go and leave a comment below or join us on Discord. Thanks.